Alright, what's up, guys? Just now left my gaming session of the new Axis and Allies 1914 game, and it's the World War One edition. Just came out, and by the time you see this video, I should have already put some of the gameplay videos up. So basically, this is just like the summary of what I think about the game, and we had two games going, so I kind of got with the other Central Powers and was, tried to figure out what they were going to do. And so I wanted to kind of do the opposite and not do the same thing. That way you could kind of see different results from the two games. And then, so basically I was Germany, and I was playing with an average player, I guess you could say. I mean, I know I'm a lot better at it, just Axis and Allies overall, but not saying anything bad about him. And a lot of people just don't have a lot of gameplay, in the game. It just takes a lot of experience. So, anyways, in my game, I tried to go after Italy and France at the beginning. And, just to see if I could try to push them, back and try to take maybe Italy out. So I got with Austria-Hungary, and got them to attack Italy as well. And in the other game, the Central Powers, they went after Russia. Basically an all-in kind of strategy. Every turn kept moving, troops towards Moscow. So two different games, two different missions, to try to win the game. Well, in their game, they had a lot of success. About turn 5, they ended up taking out Russia and getting the revolution to start. So Russia was out of the game at that point. And it just, to me, it made a world of difference. Because watching their game, Germany and Austria-Hungary were able to push west against the Italians and the French. And then down there in the south, I call them Turkey, but it's the Ottoman Empire. Turkey was able to go after Africa and then put most of their troops towards India and prevent the British from coming up from the corner down there. So I really think they were gonna, we both halted both games after 7.5 hours of gameplay. The game's kind of like Global. You can kind of see how the game can last hours and hours and hours because of the fact that every troop can only move one space, no matter what they are. Now the planes can move 2, and then the ships can move 2, the cruisers can move 3, but for the most part, all the land troops can only move one space. So you're talking about, hours, because about every turn takes about an hour to make all the countries to go. So if you're 3 countries away from something, it'll take you 3 turns to get there. So it's a really long game. It really is. I don't see how anybody can play this fast. And, the problem I had going back to my game, it did not work going after France and Italy at all. Hungary really didn't help me out. And it was basically a stalemate right in Belgium. Now, I think as everyone plays the game, you're going to start to see that Belgium is basically the little area where France and Germany is going to, have the big battle or constantly be battling over it. That's about as far west as you're going to get, unless you pull some other kind of strategy, which I wasn't able to do. And all right, so it's raining. I'm driving, stick shift, talking, holding the camera. Let's throw in some more bullshit. Let's smoke a cigarette too. See if I can get away with all of it. Okay, so bear with me. All right. So basically, with them taking out Russia in the other game, I really think it helped them. Because they didn't have to worry about putting troops at all on the east side of the map. They were able to push everything to the west against France and Italy. And yeah, they stopped the game before it was over, after 7.5 hours, but yeah, fuck it. I really think they were going to win. I think it was very clear. Now, they had a discussion, and they kind of debated that it was still kind of equal. I highly disagree. I think the Central Powers are going to win because they were going to be able to push all their troops for Hungary and Germany west. And they were out getting more IPCs than France and Italy. And the Americans really wasn't making a big impression in the game. Like, I think they stopped about turn 6. So America was just kind of getting over there. So they really hadn't affected it, but that's how the Allies kind of convinced them that, yeah, it's still kind of even because America's getting into it. But really, America ain't shit. Yeah, you can build about 5 to 6 transports and bring over about 10 to 12 units. But shit, it's going to take you 2 turns to get the transports back to America, load them back up, take you 2 more turns to get back to France. So you're talking 4 turns. Yeah, you'll initially get those 10 to 12 units, but it's going to be another 4 turns before they get another 10 to 12. So America is really not any fucking threat at all. That's the one country you do not want to be if you play an 8-player game as well. Being the Italian sucks too. There wasn't much to do. So that's just my thoughts on it. I really think with the Central Powers, you should go after Russia. That really seemed to work. And in my game, I think you really don't need to go after France and Italy. Just kind of hold your line. Make sure you don't get pushed back. Because Germany has a lot of countries that are like 4 and 3 IPCs. So you don't want to get pushed back and start losing a lot of money. Now, I did kind of stretch out with Germany. And I was getting like 54 IPCs for, about 2 or 3 turns. But eventually, it started going down because the Brits started transporting troops from their mainland off into Belgium. Because, see, Germany has to go up against France and Italy, and then when you throw in the British dropping off troops, that's 3 countries you're having to battle with just Germany, just on your west side. Now, if you haven't took out Russia yet, you also got to deal with Russia on your east. So that's 4 countries you're going against. And eventually you're going to have to deal with about 10 to 12 units from America. About turn 6. So it's really tough. After seeing both games, I think the toughest country to play with is Germany. So the best player should be Germany. I felt pretty good with Germany, even though it didn't work, me going after France and Italy. I started sending a lot of troops towards Russia after I seen how the other game went. But we just call it the end of the game because, like I said, an hour per turn just about. I was three zones away from Russia. And then I think it was 2 away. And then you got to take in the fact that you might not just take it over, it can be contested. And I'll go over the rules when I get home and try to explain those and make a video on all the rules. Try to help y'all understand the game. So, yeah, I was doing all right with Germany, but it was going to be another 4 hours at least, before anything even happened to go in our favor. So that's why I was like kind of trying to call the game and just say, okay, Allies won this one, whatever. I did not want to play another 4 or 5 hours. It's just like the global game is going to take forever. But I really do think the move is to go after Russia after seeing the game. And Turkey really needs to go after Africa. That they can really get strong and just have enough to hold off the British from India. So anyway, appreciate y'all checking out this video. Subscribe, and I'll get all these videos out to you. Deuces.